Hey, before we dive in, a quick heads up. This series is called Validating the BPD Life, and that's exactly what it's here to do. Validate the experience of living with borderline personality disorder, hopefully making you feel a little less alone. That said, if you don't have BPD, there's still value here, especially if you've loved or currently love someone who does. But fair warning, we'll be talking about some heavy stuff. Self-harm, self-destructive behavior, hospitalizations, and a lot of emotional pain. You might feel grief, guilt, anger, rage, shame, or confusion while watching. And if you do, that makes sense. Don't judge yourself for feeling anything. Don't shame yourself for being triggered. Emotions show up for a reason, even if you don't know that reason right away. If it helps, try saying, "It makes sense I'd feel this way after everything I've been through." And if you've ever been hospitalized or felt like you were losing your mind, I wrote a book about my own experience at a psych ward, and you can grab it at the link right here. Or here. To be honest, I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, so I'm just going to say grab it. It supports the work I do and might help you feel a little less lonely on this journey. All right, without further delay and nothing more to say, buckle up, Buttercup. It is time to walk the middle path towards common humanity and a wise mind. So, was it love? Or was it the desperate, aching pull of enmeshment? This episode digs into one of the most destabilizing questions we can ask after a breakup or even mid-relationship. Was I loving them, or was I just trying to disappear into them? If you've ever struggled with codependency, identity fusion, or a chronic sense of emptiness, this one's gonna hit hard. Let's start with the feeling. You meet someone, you click instantly. It's not just sparks, it's a wildfire. Within weeks, or maybe days, you're finishing their sentences. You can read their moods from across the room. Their music becomes your playlist. Their favorite dish, you learn to make it from scratch. Their pain, you carry it like your own. And for a while, it feels like magic. But slowly, you start losing track of where you end and they begin. Here's the dialectic. There's nothing wrong with wanting closeness. Intimacy, bonding, shared rituals, these are core to being human. When connection becomes consumption, though, when we becomes an escape hatch from me, we cross into codependency. DBT gives us the language and skills to see this clearly, not with judgment, with mindfulness. Mindfulness of current emotion. Am I feeling love or fear of abandonment? Mindfulness of urges. Am I texting them again because I miss them or because silence feels intolerable? Mindfulness of thoughts. Do I believe I'll stop existing if they leave me? DBT's concept of the observing self is like a lighthouse in a storm. It's the part of you that watches without blending, reacting, or fixing. It notices the moment when your stomach sinks at their delayed response. It gently observes the panic scramble to say yes to everything they like. It sees the fantasy taking over. If I can just become everything they want, they'll never leave. This observing part of you, it's sacred. It's your inner boundary, and it can keep you from merging like mist into someone else's story. Values versus identity theft. Another important question DBT helps us ask is, what are my values? Not their values, not what sounds good, not what earns the most praise or minimizes the most conflict, but my values. Here's a potentially radical act. Sit down and write out 5 values that feel core to who you are, not who you become in a relationship, and not who they say you are. You. Because if you don't know your values, someone else will happily hand you theirs, and you'll mistake it for intimacy. A quick reflection exercise. Try this. Think of someone you've merged with in the past. Make a list of what you loved about them. Now, cross out everything you only learned or liked because of them. What's left? What's you? If it's a short list, that's okay. That's awareness, and that's where rebuilding starts. Here's a closing thought. Did I love them or just want to merge? That question isn't meant to shame you. It's meant to wake you up. Maybe you did love them. Maybe you also lost yourself trying to keep them. Maybe both are true. In fact, more than likely, both will probably be true. Here's the dialectic. You can love someone deeply and still need to relearn who you are without them. You can crave closeness and still commit to holding your shape. You can feel panic when they pull away and still choose to stay grounded in your own worth. This episode is your call to come back to yourself. Not as an act of isolation, no, as an act of radical self-respect.